one of the biggest things that happened in college was that I was able to get on-campus jobs. So that was one of the things outside of like learning within the classroom. It's
Okay.
also learning outside, doing actual manual labor.
What are these? What are these hustles that you did?
Yeah, so you're looking at a Subway sandwich artist.
Wow.
So that was one of my jobs. I even did I did cafeteria trash pickup,
Woo-wee.
librarian, and then eventually I also volunteered to be a psych study in Harvard Business School. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay,
well,
that's
Harvard
amazing.
Medical School. Sorry.
Okay. No, but while you're doing that, obviously humbling because if you do that in the Philippines, you don't really get to do that as much, especially if you're coming from an IS school, right? But if you do that in Boston, I want to understand what are those lessons early on that they taught you. And I'm very curious, while you're doing undergrad in or uni in Boston University, what were the initial skills that you remember accumulating that early on that you still use today?
So one of my other hustles was writing essays for foreign students that English was their second language.
Oh,
so the
translator technique.
Translator, essay writer, copywriter, all that stuff.
Okay.
So what I learned there,
hey, that pays well, from what I hear.
It paid for my lunch money for every month. So it was pretty good. So the very first thing I learned there is like your network is your net worth. I befriended all of the Chinese associations, Korean associations, and got my connections from there.
Wow, amazing. Now, with those skills that you accumulated while obviously you're doing all these side hustles and in school, because you took up advertising in BU, what were those things that you remember banking on early as a skill set or a skill stack that were foundational in nature and for you to do things in BU?
Well, I think very first thing I learned in advertising and I guess communication in general is to understand the pain points of your customer. Like, don't sell them the product, sell them how it's going to solve their problem. So that's the biggest thing I learned from advertising.
Got it. All right, sounds good. Fast forward real quick. After BU, went to Hong Kong for a bit to intern there, and although eventually made it all the way back to the Philippines. But walk me through that journey. So after BU, what was your mindset like? What did you want to expose yourself in terms of opportunities? Obviously, the whole world is your playground. There's a lot of choices that you could have chosen as a path. What did the Hong Kong quick experience as an internship in BBDO, not Guerrero, BBDO, Hong Kong? What was that like?
Well, that one was quite surprising because I thought in my mind I was thinking Mad Men, so it's very old school, like just
there's no
graphic design.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I thought coming in, but it was a lot more technical than it was. So back then, the biggest thing and trend there was like virtual reality. So I had to learn so much about tech and how that's integrated into campaigns and advertising, and that's kind of my gateway into technology.
Got it. Now, after this, now you went back home. First stint was Yondu. Obviously, this is within the Globe ecosystem now. The first few innovations happened. I'm aging myself, but I remember Nick Soledo talking about, how they were actually creating all these vast things before in Yondu. But that was ages ago when there wasn't mobile smartphones yet. But in Yondu, you did strategy and governance right away. Walk me through that first crash course and how did you fall in love with this? Because there's a pattern I'm seeing here. You didn't really leave the nest anymore. You kept switching.
I just remained loyal. Just went to like different nests, same tree, different branches.
Yeah. No, but what did you first encounter in the Yondu experience that made you kind of really stick through and triple down on what you experienced there?
Well, so Yondu is Globe's recruitment agency, and I was deployed to digital ventures or digital media, which was also the vast arm of Globe. My first encounter was G Movies, which is a movie ticketing platform. I was a marketing associate there, and then from there I moved to strategy. So the very first thing I encountered really was, again, a mix of technology with marketing. I had no experience with technology, but I finally figured out that we can't really do marketing this day and age without it.
Now I want to double down on the skill stack. This foundational first job. What were those things that you remember developing that early that, again, are still with you today?
One is, again, who is your network. The second one I would say is everyone hates it, but everyone needs to learn how to do it. It's sales. Like learn how to sell yourself, your product, and like the way you operate.
How did you learn that? Because this is foundational. I'm also a budolero by default. I don't know it. It just the Holy Ghost just goes to my body.
We never
all of a sudden-
budol, we influence.
Okay, like we don't budol, we influence. Okay. Again, some people are blessed with a gift of gab that it comes naturally.
Right.
Some guys, it's more of a longer learning curve, and you have to develop your own style.
Right.
But
exactly.
in terms of persuasion, you're right. This is every day you have to prove yourself to the people that love you, you care about, and obviously in your workplace and whatnot. But how did you develop that style of persuasion or sales if that's one of the foundational skills that you learned early on?
I guess it's like I always break it down into 3 steps. The first one is establish trust. So get into a relationship, understand what their pain points are, what their wants are, their objectives, etc. And then after that, bridge how your product, your service, even yourself will be able to serve their passion or their needs.
Got it.
And then I guess the third one is either close or walk away, because sometimes it doesn't fit their needs, and you having the honor to be able to say that I'm not going to shove this down your throat. But it keeps that bridge open for maybe the next time they need something that is swak with what you have to offer.
Got it. No, but I want to understand one last thing. Your MO in establishing trust, because that's also the start of the persuasion process. What's your techniques that work for you? I'll start with mine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, please do.
And now you're learning my MO. Okay. My MO, every single time I meet a new person, I will try to make that person laugh within the first 5 minutes. That's why I'm always coming in hot and full of energy. But what I'm always trying to establish is make someone laugh. Because here's what in a sales environment, if somebody you're trying to pitch, if they're not open to you, they have their arms high.
Exactly.
Whatever you try to push, it's gonna get blocked 90% of the time.
For sure.
The way to make that guard down is to make them laugh, and that also establishes people liking you. They associate. If they get your humor, you made you laugh.
100%.
It's 50% of it. You're already 50% close. The next one is establishing, what you're selling as a thing. But in terms of that personal connection, I'll always try to do something stupid or say something stupid to make like there.
It works.
Close now. Kamawa na. Okay, I can already sell. But what's your style? I want to understand how you do it.
I mean, I wish I were funny. Unfortunately, I'm not. So I don't use humor.
Ginanan mo sa ganda. Ganon.
No, actually. So what I am is I am a complainer.
So you'll rant.
I open the door for rants. So my usual opener like today is, are you in the office? Oh, you guys are 3 times a week have to go to the office. Kawawa naman, traffic.
Wow!
And that usually opens them up, lets their guard down, allows them to like tell me all of their problems.
Yeah na. Ang galing. That's amazing. I never heard of that style.
The complainer. Yeah.
But I love it. I love the style because that's what it is. When people start opening up to you, that's where everything flows. Inside Innovation Stories from 917 Ventures is brought to you by HustleShare. To learn more about the hustle behind the venture builder, tune in to the full episode because there's more lessons to learn with every story.